I found peace in the thoughts never said and the ones I can't wait to express. This is like my new thing I'm going on. I'm just playing with my words. Like thoughts we should say, it's kind of like I'm just taking that and twisting it and molding it in every different type of way and seeing like what really comes out of me in its truest raw form, like no technology near me, no nothing. I just take out a pen, paper, whatever. I mean, this sketchbook actually, and that's it. I go at it. And I just want to become one with everything that I'm creating. And it's so blissful. Like I've never felt like that before in my life.
You're trying to figure out how to convey meaning with words the best you can. Because the idea in your head, it's not in words. You have to figure out words or a drawing to put it in.
Wow. I never even thought about it like that. It's really a feeling. I wrote on my wall. I need you to feel what I'm saying. Oh gosh, I can't grasp it. I need you to feel my thoughts. Oh, I need you to feel my thoughts through my words. That's what I have written down. And that's so true because I need to let that out. I have so much built up inside of me. Just like take it, just put it out there into the world in its truest, most raw form. And like, I'm just trying to be vulnerable.
Yeah, it's all about being vulnerable. All about being vulnerable. I used to be afraid of myself. That's the thing. And I think most people are afraid of themselves. People are afraid if somebody else looks at me negatively, I'm not afraid anymore of how I might perceive that. Because you're not afraid of what the other person is thinking about you. You're afraid of what you're going to be thinking about you. That's the funniest part about this stuff. And like me going on social media, like I wasn't afraid of what everybody else was going to be saying when I started posting all these videos on social media. I was afraid of what I was going to think about myself. It's about your relationship with yourself that all this creation starts to manifest.
Wow. And like this week I was feeling down and it's really about being okay with that. Like I internalize it and I did like some self-reflection. I wrote down in my journal about how I was feeling terrible. I was feeling hurt. Like every single part of me. I'm just going to read my journal from like last time and connect it exactly with how I was feeling this week. My brain hurts. I feel like garbage. I feel like nothing is working. Everything is falling apart. I'm going to get nowhere. This is a huge rut. But what's the reality? I know it's not real. Now, I took this and I kind of ran with it this week because I understood that's what I'm feeling right now is just a feeling. It's not my actual reality. Like what I just read was, that was like 2-3 months ago. And then I just happened to open up my journal randomly because I wanted to like flip through like how I was feeling in relation to how like down I was feeling this week, my low vibrational moment, and like that page came up and I was like, wow, like literally exactly. So what I did was I just opened up my journal and I mind mapped. Have you ever done that before?
Explain further.
So I wrote down what I was feeling, how I was feeling, and why I thought I was feeling that way. And then I sectioned out each part of what I was doing. So like I'm feeling anxious, my head's hurting, like, and then it's like why am I feeling this way? It's like, oh, I have a lot of tasks ready. Oh, I'm not on my schedule. Let's figure this out. So the next part of it was I opened up my journal and I mapped out what I have to do in order to counter each one of those things. So the first thing was to schedule everything. Then it was to make sure that I'm not abusing privileges that I was like taking advantage of. So like taking a shower for like 25-30 minutes, like that's just unnecessary, at least for me. So I mean, whatever. And then I feel when I say stuff like that, I'm just gonna be straight up right now. When I say stuff like that, I feel bad because I'm saying it's not necessary, and I have the power to bring a narrative to the table that other people can see and not talk back to me about. And somebody else in a given situation might feel that it's necessary to take a 30-minute shower. I'm just being completely straight up. That's why I say, whatever, this, that. Like, what's your opinion on that? Because I know I just completely missed my point, but I'm just being real here.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to your original point.
Okay.
But then we'll cover that too.
Sure.
So you're talking about how you went into your own mind and put it on a piece of paper, put it into your phone, and laid it out digitally or textually so you could analyze it, right? that kind of goes into the point of reflecting rather than reacting to your emotions, to your emotional states. And that's crucial in this whole self-growth journey, awakening, whatever you want to call it. It's crucial to look inside yourself and start feeling, how am I feeling? Asking yourself the why am I feeling this way? And inspecting inside yourself, why am I feeling happy? Why am I feeling sad? And you start asking yourself those questions and deeper meaning arises in you. Because I found myself being a very superficial person, materialistic person, until I started going within and I went beyond the scene.
So when you're saying you went like within, like to what extent?
So are you familiar with the concept of shadow work?
No, explain.
Okay. So something that I work very closely with now and have been for some time is the concept of healing past trauma. And not only just healing past trauma, but going within myself to accept, love, forgive past events, even if they happened this morning, if they happened yesterday. So think if when you were a little kid, your mom buys you an ice cream, and you drop the ice cream, hits the floor, you start crying.
Damn it.
You're crying. The ice cream's, she's like, oh. It's okay. I'll get you another one. You get another ice cream and you scarf it down. You're so excited to eat ice cream. Now you're conditioned that you should be eaten quick or you should cry over spilled ice cream, right? Like if you don't go back and forgive yourself for dropping that ice cream, it sounds like a stupid example, but like you don't forgive yourself for dropping that ice cream, that sits inside of you. All that energy is always with you. So, or better example, I'm growing up. I played baseball in my life, right? And my dad used to be really hard on me playing baseball. Like he would, like we'd go out and we'd throw pitches and I'd be doing all this work to play baseball. I had in my head, I want to go to the MLB and all this, right? I'm 11 years old, 12 years old. It's league dreams at that age. It's like, come on. And he really put in the time to help me get wherever I wanted to go. But a lot of times he was hard on me and I took that as like negativity. And I internalized that, and it took me a long time until recently really to process, forgive, love, and accept all that time, those 10, 12 years of my life where my dad was so hard on me with baseball. And it's like, how did that sit with me that long? When you can go inside of yourself and find a spot within you to heal your past, that past Cory doesn't exist anymore. We're Cory right now. That past Hal will cease to exist. You're going to be Hal right now.
So if there was like 3 main things that you could tell somebody to like work on in order to achieve what you're speaking about, like what would it be?
The 3 main things I would say would be working on emotional intelligence, number 1. Number 2 would have to be meditation, inspecting within yourself, feeling yourself, right? Falling in love with yourself, being able to find a place of silence within yourself. And then I think the 3rd thing would be drowning out all the noise. And by noise, I mean every time you get in your car and you turn the volume knob all the way up so you can't even hear your own thoughts, or you get home and you scroll through social media until you fall asleep, until you drop your phone on your chest at night, or when you sit there and watch Netflix until you can't even keep your eyes open. Like that's drowning out the noise, not being able to sit in silence with yourself.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that this week. I turned on the radio for the first time in maybe a couple months. Normally I'm listening to an audiobook these days, but I fully allowed myself to not hear my thoughts and only tune into the music. And I kind of use it as a meditation. So while not using it every single day, I'm using music to my advantage when I need a breather. So going into the car, I completely just, not every time, just let it out. Blast on Coldplay. And I lose everything. Like everything just disappears. But then when you go back into the car and you turn on like an audiobook, it's like, let's focus, let's learn, And I love that.
Do you ever catch yourself forgetting about yourself?
Yeah, like with the music for sure. It's like I'm not even there. I am a big ball of euphoria and I'm just everywhere. And then, I mean, I could also lose myself in a negative way where it's just like I'm listening to so much music where I don't even know what I'm doing, and I'm just so lost in the flow of the song. Like if a song has words and I'm working personally, I have to shut it off. I can't focus on my work when there's lyrics that I have to focus on too, and then my own thoughts. It's like too many different things going on at the same time. I just like the calm music in the background, focus on what I got to do, and just let it go.
I'm the same way. I've become very appreciative of pure silence now.
Yeah.
Pure silence.
Like taking a walk in the park was nothing
Mhm.
better.
No headphones on, hearing the birds chirping, and you start to pay attention to the silence between other people's words and hearing the true meaning of what they're saying. When you can sit with yourself in silence, you start to notice silence everywhere.
Yeah, and like listening to what people are saying instead of just like hearing them. You actually internalize what they're saying, say, I understand you in your head, and then reply back to them from a point of understanding. It shows like complete cognitive intelligence and emotional intelligence as an individual. It shows that you care. It shows that you're loving them, and it completely changes the way that people would react to you. Like Dale Carnegie. Have you read How to Win Friends and Influence People?
No.
Oh my gosh, I'm putting you on this book. This is the most insane book. I mean, it's talking about now how you should call people by their name and mean it and be interested in them. Like, what do you have to say? Like, your name is Cory. Like, what about Cory? As an individual connecting to another, the only way for there to be connection is for you to actually care about what that other person is saying. And that, when you care about what they're saying and you care about what they want to give to you, they want to give you more. They want to become closer to you. So enhancing your relationships by calling people by their names, enhancing your relationships by continuing observing and internalizing what that person is giving you, you become closer and more connected with that other person.
That's very similar to the idea of the listening heart and compassion, and really getting and building that connection with somebody else through conversation, through touch, through dance, through any means possible, because there's so many intimate ways to form a relationship with somebody. You think about it, and it's not just words. Like you could go to the club and just not say one word to somebody and be dancing next to them all night. It's like, how did we connect? Like what connected us? Was it our eye contact? I think you could see the seed of the soul through somebody else's eyes just by looking somebody firmly in the eyes, and not just looking at their eyes, looking behind their eyes.
Like seeing through them?
Mm-hmm.
I like that. That's cool. It's almost like a big ball of energy, and you just get to like, you're just attracted to it. Like the more that you are being, and the more that like being media, the more that you're being, and the more that you're actually like just living and existing and radiating that your energy, whether that be positive or negative, you attract whatever you put out to the world. So if I'm putting out my positive energy constantly, I'm going to be connected to that person who's constantly putting out that positive energy as well. You know, like there's no way that I'm going to connect with somebody that's radiating extreme amounts of negative energy. It's not possible.
No, you're not in that. You're not in the same plane, I like to think. You're not in the same plane of existence.
No.
Literally. Because when you start operating at high emotional wavelengths, right? Have you ever heard of the book Power versus Force by David R. Hawkins?
I'm going to have to check it out.
Power versus Force has a consciousness scale, and it essentially lays out what vibrational states emotions are at. And it starts all the way down at the bottom at guilt and shame and fear, and it moves up, and it starts to go into acceptance and neutrality and reason. And then it moves up into joy, peace, love, bliss, enlightenment, right? So you can see the progression of these low vibrational states into the high ones, and those high vibrational states are exponentially more powerful than the low ones. So somebody emanating love out of their being is going to have so much more of an impact than somebody emanating fear.
Wild. That's crazy. Dude, I just like was thinking random, I know very off topic, but like a to-do list.
Shoot.
Like what do you have like any really cool to-do lists? I'm sorry, I just looked at my journal. I was like, yo, I have a really cool to-do list on there.
For tomorrow?
Yeah.
I think the concept of to-do list wasn't something I appreciated until recently.
No way. me.
Elaborate. I only started having a to-do list probably in, I want to say, October this year. And it's only been something I've been doing for a little bit of time. Now I keep it all on my phone, but I look at my to-do list and I get excited to check stuff off when you have a to-do list.
Scratch it.
Erase. Yeah, when I was doing it in this journal, I was excited to scratch, but now I check.
Now it's check.
And the thing that I love about a to-do list is it keeps you accountable. It keeps you, you find that too? Like when you have a to-do list and you don't hit everything, it's like, like I could have done more. But the one thing that I don't like to do is to stress about getting everything done that's on my to-do list.
I'm going to read you my journal entry today just because you said that.
Yeah,
that's
let's hear
wild.
Let's hear it.
Oh my gosh.
While you're looking for it, that's where the intend on perfection detached from outcome came from.
Okay, so this is like almost very religious. I don't know if I want to say it. Let's see. Okay. Thank you for giving me to check off the things. You can leave it. I'm seeing where I wrote.
Don't be worried about it coming out religious.
No, so I can't even write. That's true, by the way. I really shouldn't care. Thoughts we should say. These are thoughts I should say. Now I'm going to do my best. As possible to conquer this list. And if I don't, that's completely okay. I'm going to read that again. Now I'm going to do my best to conquer this to-do list. If I don't, it's completely okay. And if I do, that's awesome. Regardless, I know that I've truly tried my best. That's what I wrote today. Just to bank off of literally exactly what you're saying. Because there's 20, 30 different things on my to-do list. And it gets so overwhelming when you think about it in a broader scale. Like, how am I going to get all this done? But you just have to understand in reality that there's always tomorrow. You have to understand what your priorities are for today. Finish that today. And then tomorrow is tomorrow and take care of that tomorrow.
Think of it as the can-do list. The can-do list. Like, look at that and I get to do all of this tomorrow. I get to wake up and go to the gym, and I get to go work a college lacrosse game, and I get to go to class, and I get to cook myself dinner, and I get to do a podcast. That's just what I did today. But
all that?
Yeah, but that's why I started making the perfect day vlogs, because I was looking at my to-do list, and I'm looking at my journal, and it's like, look how much I do. Look at all this stuff that I do.
This must be documented.
Yeah, this must be documented. And I like to think of the concept of making my life into a film, making my life into a movie. And I wake up every day, and even though I'm only taking 5-second videos of myself throughout the day just to document what I'm doing, I'm turning my life into a film. I'm documenting everything. It's so beautiful.
Right on.
And you're doing the same thing.
Yeah. No, my new video style is so much fun. I'm having the best time creating this content as I've ever. There's a stink bug right over there if you want to flick it at it. Yeah. Just flick it. Boo. Oh.
Hey. Whoa.
Hey, yo. Infiltrating.
I took one. I flushed one down the toilet before.
Yeah, so I think the thing with these stink bugs is that once you kill them, they attract a smell that comes more. I could be wrong. Fact check me and please correct me in my Instagram at Hal and Doueck. But what? Have you ever heard of the Eisenhower matrix?
No.
Okay, so the Eisenhower matrix is a way to structure your to-do list. There's 4 quadrants. You have the top 2 that say urgent and not urgent. And then the 2 side ones say important and not important. So in the top left, you have urgent and important. In the top right, you have not urgent and important. And then in the bottom left, you have urgent and not important. In the bottom right, wow, I'm sorry, I'm doing this off the top of my head. On the bottom right, you have not urgent and not important. So this basically separates your to-do list into 4 different types of priorities for you to understand what's the most important, what do I have to get done first, aka urgent and important. That's obviously number 1. Mm-hmm. And then you have dumb things for me on this, it's learn how to create a font. It's okay, not so important, it's not so urgent either. I'm just going to put it over there. Or if I want to watch a movie, not either or, I have to figure out what's most important, Mm-hmm. Obviously take care of my mental health, which is something that I've been doing.
How have you been doing that?
Oh, so this week, as soon as I scheduled my my day figuring out where I was headed, because like I said earlier, I was just like, my mental health was declining. I set up my schedule. I gave myself time to breathe. I cut the day when it's supposed to be cut, and I give myself time to breathe. You know, like before I came in, it was 6:30. I would leave here at 6:30, and that was the end of my night. And then I went on vacation, and vacation messed me up. And then my whole schedule was completely out of whack, and I had no idea where I was going. I needed to regroup myself and understand that you need to give yourself time. You need to allow yourself time to settle down. There has to be a start and end to every single day. And without that, you will get completely lost. You wake up in the morning, you know when you're waking up, same time. You go to sleep. Before you go to sleep, there has to be some time for you to chill. There has to be some time for your brain to just let loose. When you go overboard with that, you just automatically, no matter who you are, if you are human, you will go into burnout. That's just how it is. You can't take in that much information and work with that all the time. It just doesn't work.
You've got to give yourself time to just sit, reflect, be with yourself. A lot of times we sit and we work and we think we're going somewhere. We're sitting there writing in our journal or posting on Instagram or doing a blog or making a YouTube video, and this is going to be the one. This is going to take me to the next level, taking you somewhere else rather than where you are right now. And sometimes you just need to take some time and just be where you are. And usually that's right when you wake up and right when you go to bed, and having a steady routine in the morning, steady routine at night. I wake up, I journal, I stretch, meditate, and go about my day.
Wow.
I come back from a busy day and take a deep breath, usually meditate, journal a little bit more, and close my eyes and go to sleep. Do it all over again.
Yeah, no, finding the schedule and really fine-tuning it to how you have to live your life, like for you, whether that be you have 20 minutes in the morning or 5 minutes in the morning, everybody to their own. It's so important to have a structure, because without the structure, you're like a mouse in a corn maze. It's like impossible to find your way. And I know moving forward, I'm going to keep growing, and I'm going to keep trying to work on this and keep trying to perfect myself and how I can do my best. And I know that anybody who really wants it for themselves will take an initiative eventually, one way or another, and say, I got to figure myself out. Let me see if there's resources around me to help me. And if there are, how can I actually implement them? Let's get going. You know? Mm-hmm. But I think we're going to cut this one short tonight. I thank you very much for coming on tonight.
For sure.
If there's any thoughts for the next one, just speak them now. Like, what do you think we should speak about next time?
I feel I always have a lot of ideas.
You know what? Let's do what we keep doing. Just play it by ear.
Yeah, play it by ear and just talk about ideas.
Yeah.
Just talk about
thoughts
ideas.
we should say.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
Like, just say it.
Just say it, bro. Does it really matter?
It never does.
All right.
All right.
Make sure you follow us all on social media at Hal and Doueck, HALNDOUECK. That's on all social platforms besides for TikTok. That's Hal, HAL_D. And then Cory, plug yourself.
And then I'm Cory Englehardt, CORYENGLEHARDT on all platforms. You can find me there.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.